Yeah, you can start when you're ready, Mataji.
Yes. Hare Krishna devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chevam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayudirate Nashtaprayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today's reading, translations only. We'll continue from Srimad Bhagavatam 6.18.1 1 through 11. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, title Prescribed Duties for Mankind, Chapter 18, title Diti Vows to Kill King Indra, verses 1 through 11. Okay. Translation. Text 1. Sri Shukdev Goswami said, Prishni, who was the wife of Savita, the fifth of 12 sons of Aditi, gave birth to 3 daughters, Savitri, Vahitri, and Trayi, and the sons named Agnihotra, Pashu, Soma, Chaturmas, and the 5 Mahajanas. O king, Siddhi, who was the wife of Bhaga, the sixth son of Aditi, both bore 3 sons named Mahima, Vibhu, and Prabhu, and one extremely beautiful daughter whose name was Asi. Text 3 and 4. Datta, the seventh son of Aditi, had 4 wives named who Srinivali, Rakha, and Anumati. These wives begot 4 sons named Shama, Darsha, Partha, and Punamasha, respectively. The wife of Vidhata, the 8 sons of Aditi, was named Kriya. In her, Vidhata begot the 5 fire gods named the Purushas, the wife of Varuna. The 9th son of Aditi was named Charasni. Bhrigu, the son of Brahma, took birth again in her womb. Text 5. By the semen of Varuna, the great mystic Valmiki took birth from an ant hill. Bhrigu and Valmiki were specific sons of Varuna, whereas Agastya and Vishishta Rishi were the common sons of Varuna, and Mitra, the 10th son of Aditi. Text 6. Upon seeing Urvashi, the celestic society girl, both Mitra and Varuna discharged semen, which they preserved in an earthen pot. The 2 sons Agastya and Vishishtai later appeared from that pot, and they are therefore the common sons of Mitra and Varuna. Mitra begot 3 sons in the womb of his wife, whose name was Revati. Their names were Utsagra, Arishta, and Pipala. Text 7. O King Parishad Indra, the king of the heavenly planets and the 11th son of Aditi, begot 3 sons named Jayanta, Rishabha, and Midusha in the womb of his wife Pumali, Ptolemy. Thus we have heard. Text 8. By his own potency, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has multifarious potencies, appeared in the form of a dwarf as Ura Karma, the 12th son of Aditi, in the womb of his wife, whose name was Kriti. He begot one son named Britashloka, who had many sons headed by Saubhaga. 9. Text 9. Later in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, I shall describe how Urkarma Lord Vamandev appeared as the son of the great sage Kashyapa, and how he covered the three worlds with 3 steps. I shall describe the uncommon activities he performed, his qualities, his power, and how he took birth from the womb of Aditi. Text 10. Now let me describe the sons of Diti who were begotten by Kashyapa but who became demons. In this demonic family, the great devotees Prahlad Maharaj appeared, and Bali Maharaj also appeared in that family. The demons are technically known as the Daityas because they proceeded from the womb of Diti. Text 11, the last text for the day. First, the 2 sons named Hinyakashipu and Hinyaksha took birth from Diti's womb. Both of them were very powerful and were worshipped by the Daityas and Danavas. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. More brief overview by Vamsi Vadana Das Prabhuji, who would further explain these verses in details. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. You can start when you're ready, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Share my screen. Let's start with Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण so today we are starting a new chapter, chapter 18. Srila Prabhupada titles that as Diti vows to kill King Indra. I would like to read few lines from the summary because there are not many purports in today's verses. Srila Prabhupada has given a summary of this chapter. Just I would like to read out few lines from that summary. So Srila Prabhupada writes that this chapter gives the history of Diti, the wife of Kashyapa, and how she followed a vow to have a son who would kill Indra. So Diti wanted to have a son who would kill Indra. It also describes how Indra attempted to foil her plan by cutting to pieces the son within her womb. Those we will see in the later verses in this chapter. So in relation to Twashta, which we saw in the pastime of Vitrasur Maharaj, there is and his descendants, there is a description of the dynasty of the Adityas, the son of Aditi. and other demigods. Prishni, the wife of Aditi's fifth son, named Savita, had three daughters, Savitri, Vyahitri, and Trayi, and very exalted sons named Agnihotra, Pashu, Soma, Chaturmasya, and the five Mahayagnas. So the dynasty is being described. And then later, Brigu, the mind-born son of Brahma, took his birth again from Charshni, the wife of Varuna. The great sage Valmiki appeared from Varuna's semen. So we saw that in today's set of verses. So what happened was, um, so this will be the point of our discussion today, verse 6 mainly, where verse 5 and 6 it says that by the semen of Varuna, the great sage Valmiki took birth from an anthill. Bhrigu and Valmiki were specific sons of Varuna, whereas Agastya and Vashishta rishis were the common sons of Varuna, and Mitra, the 10th son of Aditi. Now, how did that happen? That is explained in the 6th verse. Upon seeing Urvasi, the celestial society girl, um, both Mitra and Varuna discharged semen, which they preserved in an earthen pot. The two sons, Agastya and Vashishta, later appeared from that pot, and they are therefore the common sons of Mitra and Varuna. Mitra begot three sons in the womb of his wife, whose name was Revati. Their names were Utsarga, Arishta, and Pipala. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that modern science is trying to generate living entities in test tubes by processing semen, but even long, long ago, it was possible for semen kept in a pot to develop into a child. So Srila Prabhupada writes about test tube babies. So this is existing many millions of years ago. But the point that we can understand from this verse today in verse 6 is that first we need to understand who is Urvasi. Yes, of course, Urvasi is she's a very beautiful heavenly personality. But we understand from Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas that once Sri Naranarayan Rishi was performing austerities in Badrika Ashram, and we all know that Indra, though being a devotee, can get agitated and can feel insecure if somebody is performing too much austerities. And Indra didn't understand that Sri Naranarayan Rishi was the supreme god himself. So he wanted to send Cupid personified to disturb the austerities. And Cupid Kamadev went along with his beautiful looking women, damsels, to disturb Naranarayan Rishi, Sri Naranarayan Rishi. And they tried so much, but they couldn't disturb Sri Naranarayan Rishi. And Sri Naranarayan Rishi, because Krishna, Bhagavan means he has all six opulences. So from the body of Sri Naranarayan Rishi, so many beautiful damsels came out. And Kamadev was completely surprised. And the damsels coming out of the body of Sri Narayana Rishi were hundreds and thousands of times more beautiful than the damsels that Kamadev had brought to disturb Sri Narayana Rishi. And one of those damsels was Urvasi. So Urvasi was an emanation from the Supreme God himself. And the Devatas, seeing the beauty of Urvasi, they wanted to take her. And she is since then residing in the heavenly realm. But we are seeing that in the ninth canto, we will see the same personality, Urvasi, she attracts a king, Pururava. My spiritual master, he says, in that story, we see that, long story short, in that story, we see that Pururava, even though enjoying with Urvasi for so many times, he's so obsessed with Urvasi, that finally he comes to a feeling in the 11th canto. Krishna explains to Uddhav that I wasted my life My spiritual master, he says that what can we learn from this? Urvasi is the Bhagavatam explains that the women of heavenly realm are hundreds and thousands of times more beautiful than the most beautiful women that we see in this world. Srila Prabhupada says, um, say for example, the women from French are the most beautiful in this world. This is Srila Prabhupada's statement. But the heavenly realm women are even more beautiful. And even more beautiful is Urusi, who is an emanation from Krishna. And Pururava, after enjoying with her for so many times, he felt that he has wasted his life. But here the Devatas didn't have that understanding, so they got attracted to her. So what we can learn from this is that even while practicing bhakti, this can happen to any one of us. And it will happen. Because all of us are conditioned souls. We have to be realistic. I cannot pretend myself to be a very advanced devotee. Bhagavatam time and again warns us, even in the 10th canto, I think in one of the purports, Srila Prabhupada, His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji often quotes that everything starts with the eyes. Everything starts with the eyes. And a conditioned soul, because we are all in the bodily concept of life, and we have not really tasted the nectar of Krishna consciousness, we want to satisfy our ego. That is the main reason why we are in this world. Kardava Muni explains in the 3rd canto that we are in this world because we want to enjoy separately from Krishna. Directly it is mentioned. This is direct words from Kardava Muni when he has the darshan of Lord Vishnu. Because we want to enjoy by seeing the objects of this world and the personalities of this world for our own enjoyment. But bhakti is directly opposite. Bhakti is doing everything for the satisfaction of Krishna. Pure bhakti, not for our enjoyment. And in that regard, there are some verses in Srimad Bhagavatam we need to understand in Tattva. We need to understand Krishna's position and what is our position. This is from the 1st canto, 11th chapter. Very famous verse. When Krishna goes into Dwaraka and meets all his queens, some description is given how the queens were feeling. They actually wanted to go and embrace Krishna, but they were feeling shy. Those descriptions are given, but then it is described what was Krishna's feeling. Although the queen's beautiful smiles and furtive glances were all spotless and exciting, although they could conquer Cupid himself by making him give up his bow in frustration, and although even the tolerant Lord Shiva could fall victim to them, still, despite all their magical effects and attraction, they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. Krishna is called Atmaram. Krishna doesn't need something external to satisfy him. He's self-satisfied. So this verse clearly states that if somebody says, if there's this one personality who went and asked an acharya, hey, out of all personalities, why are you worshipping Krishna? Didn't you get any other personality? Because there is so much misunderstanding. But we have to understand from our acharyas about Krishna's position first, before understanding his pastimes. Here, Bhagavatam itself states that Krishna is not agitated, his senses are not agitated by seeing the attractive glances and smiles of the queens of Dwaraka. That is Krishna's position. And what is our position? This is from the 3rd canto. Now, we have to understand again in Tattva what is our position, because most of the times Bhagavatam can be and our acharyas can be very straight, right? So like Srila Prabhupada writes, men and women are like butter. Sorry, women are like fire, men are like butter. We have to be very careful. Acharyas warn. But then we should not get too much into bodily consciousness and say, hey, why acharyas are talking only about women and not about men? Bhagavatam states that the woman created by the Lord is a representation of Maya, and one who associates with such Maya by accepting services must certainly know that this is the way of death, just like a blind well covered with grass. Now, okay, this may seem very strong. Now let's go even further. This is from the third canto, 31st chapter. A living entity who, as a result of attachment to women in his previous life, has been endowed with the form of woman, foolishly looks upon Maya in the form of woman of a man, her husband, as a bestower of wealth, progeny, house, and other material assets. So, if somebody is woman in this life, it is because of their previous life. A man was attached too much to women, and he was in that consciousness. And whatever consciousness we are in this life is the body we get in the next life. A woman therefore should consider her husband, her house, and her children to be the arrangement of external energy of the Lord for her death, just as the sweet singing of the hunter is death for the deer. Due to his particular type of body, the materialistic living entity wanders from one planet to another, following fruitive activities. In this way, he involves himself in fruitive activities and enjoys the results incessantly. So, the summary that these verses explains from Srimad Bhagavatam, even though sometimes Bhagavatam may specifically say men and women, and here we are seeing the Devatas getting attracted to Urvasi, but the point is we are in the bodily concept of life. But even though we are in the bodily concept of life, we have to accept such statements. I'm in a man's body, somebody may be in a woman's body. So we have to accept this in reality, in truth, and follow the injunctions of the Shastra. We cannot say, oh, I'm actually spirit soul, I don't have to follow these things. Then we will be in trouble. Even though the Bhagavatam says that all these are emanations of external energy, that I consider somebody as my spouse, my child, I and my consciousness is there, but still, whatever the Shastra tells, the injunctions that are required to be followed while living in this body need to be followed. Because Srila Rupa Goswami says, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatri Vridim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpadeva Kalpate. By not following the injunctions of the Shastra and still trying to practice bhakti, it is simply an imagination. We will not advance properly. So when our acharyas come and tell that we need to have respectful distance between man and woman, even while living in a grihastha ashram, somebody is married, having wife, children, we need to have respectful distance with the opposite sex. In the name of, there will be circumstances where we have to talk. It's not like we can totally avoid. That is also not possible. But we must maintain respectful distances. All our great acharyas say, even while practicing bhakti, while performing kirtan, there must be respectful distances. The Vaishnava etiquette manual describes so many details how the Matajis and Prabhujis have to be at a respectful distance. Because of this fact is that we have to accept ourselves to be conditioned. Right? In the name of being soft, in the name of being realistic, we can't take a chance. We cannot take a chance because the Shastra cannot lie. Right? So we have to be very cautious about this. Srila Bilamangala Thakur, in his previous life, was a very advanced devotee. We saw that drama that was played by the college students in the temple during the festival a few weeks ago. He was a very advanced devotee, but then in his next life, he got attracted by seeing a prostitute. And then when the prostitute, actually it was his guru who came in the form of his prostitute to awaken him. And he told that because you had this attraction of lust, I had to come in the form of women to purify you again in this life. And later, Bilwamangala Thakur goes to such an extent to remove his eyes because he thought this eyes was creating so much problem for him in his life. So we should also be very cautious, extremely cautious, on guard, like Srila Prabhupada says, right? On guard. And for that to happen, it is not something that we can, okay, we have heard something from Srimad Bhagavatam, we can theoretically practice. It is not possible. Like Srila Prabhupada says, bhakti is a great science. And if we don't follow the injunctions of the acharyas and the spiritual master, these things cannot be practiced on a consistent manner. And for that, we have to chant the holy names every single day. Follow the four regulative principles. Hear Srimad Bhagavatam every single day because Bhagavatam will remind us. Even though I'm not chanting very attentively, Bhagavatam will remind us openly every single day of all the pitfalls that are possible in our life. So all these things have to be followed. Today is Sripad Ramanujacharya's appearance day. On this regard, I'll just narrate one very small story and I'll end with that. Sripad Ramanujacharya had a very great disciple. Before he became a disciple, his name was Dhanurdas. I think many of you might know the story. Very famous. Once Sripad Ramanujacharya, because he was living in Srirangam and he had several disciples and they worship Sri Ranganath. So one form of Lord Vishnu in South India. Because he was the Acharya, they had a festival. And in South, probably in other parts of India also, there is something called Utsav Murti, where they have the Murti, Sri Ranganath. He is very huge because he was installed several thousands and millions of years ago, even during the time of Lord Ramachandra. So they have Utsav Murti whom they can carry during festivals. So at once, during a festival, the Utsav Murti was carried and Sripad Ramanujacharya also was going along the Utsav Murti. And while they were going, they saw this Dhanurdas, who was not a devotee yet. And they saw that this Dhanurdas was constantly gazing at his beautiful wife. And on top of that, he was holding an umbrella over his wife. And he didn't even pay attention to the Utsav Murti of Lord Ranganath or nor the great personality of Sripad Ramanujacharya. He was so attached and mesmerized by the beauty of his wife. He was only holding, and so many peoples and devotees were speaking about him, but he did not care about anything of this world. So much he was attached to his wife. And Sripad Ramanujacharya, this is the nature of a sadhu. A sadhu cannot see a conditioned soul being bound in this world. We cannot imitate this. But a sadhu will want to go and bring even the most degraded soul in this world back to the lotus feet of Krishna. So Sripad Ramanujacharya goes and he goes to Dhanurdas and he was asking, what are you doing here? So many devotees are going, taking Lord Ranganath on procession, and you're busy holding umbrella for your wife. And Dhanurdas said, I'm not interested in that. Do you see the beauty of my wife? Do you see the beauty of her eyes? Is there anyone more beautiful than her in this world? Is there anyone who can show me more beautiful eyes than my wife? Sripad Ramanujacharya said, if I show you someone having much more beautiful eyes than your wife, then will you stop all this and start worshipping Lord Ranganath? He said, yes, of course. If you can show me somebody even more beautiful, I will stop all this. Sripad Ramanujacharya took Dhanurdas and his wife followed to Ranganath temple, main temple. And he directly pulled him to the main altar, took him inside the altar, and he gave him the darshan of Lord Ranganath. And Sripad Ramanujacharya showed to Dhanurdas, look at the beauty of Lord Ranganath and look at his beautiful lotus eyes. And Dhanurdas saw, and he was dumbstruck by the beauty of Lord Ranganath and the beautiful lotus eyes of Lord Ranganath. And as soon as he came to his senses, and his wife also came to his senses because she was also present, they gave their lives to Sripad Ramanujacharya. And since then, they became such disciples of Sripad Ramanujacharya that Sripad Ramanujacharya used to give so many services for him. And they became so dear to Sripad Ramanujacharya. Even sometimes the brahmacharis and sannyasis used to be, sometimes they even envied. Why our guru is giving so much attention to these grihastha couples? So the point is that Dhanurdas and his wife may have been very lusty and lustful. But this lusty tendency that is there within all of us in different degrees can be given or can be given up only by the mercy of a sadhu. Otherwise, not possible. Not by our own strength. It is not possible. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he sings, Chaya Vega Domi, Chaya Dosha Shodhi, Chaya Guna Deho Dase. Chaya Satta Sanga Deho He Amare, Boshechi Sangera Ache, O He Vaishnava Thakur, Dayara Sagar, Edase Karuna Kori. O Vaishnava Thakur, O Guru, Sripad Ramanujacharya was Vaishnava Thakur. Just because he came and pulled Dhanurdas out of the clutches of Maya, not just pulling, because Sripad Ramanujacharya told, look at the beauty of Lord Ranganath, Dhanurdas was able to see the beauty of Lord Ranganath. He might have even taken darshan of Lord Ranganath so many times before. But because it came from the mouth of Sripad Ramanujacharya, he was able to see. And he was able to give up his materialistic sense gratificatory activities. That is why we need a guru in this world. Only by the mercy of Guru, all the impurities within our heart will gradually go away. And by serving a Guru and chanting the holy names, that is how we become gradually purified. So when we have such tendencies, we should feel shameful of us, but we should not lose hope. Because that is the mercy of Krishna. He has come in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. He has come in the form of the holy names. He has come in the form of Guru in this world. Krishna himself tells, Acharya Mam Vijaniyam in the 11th canto. The Acharya or Guru is non-different from me. So we have to take shelter of all these personalities and pray every day. Please purify me. Please purify me. And in the 11th verse, today, no, the 10th verse, by his own potency, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has multifarious potencies, appeared in the form of dwarf as Urukrama, the 12th son of Aditi, Lord Vamanadev. This will be described in detail in the 8th canto. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that although Krishna is unborn and his body is transcendental, he never deteriorates. And although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead incarnates, he does not need any help from external energy, for he appears by his own internal potency, Maya. By his internal potency. The body accepted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Maya. This does not mean that he is formed of the external energy. This Maya refers to his internal potency. Because the verse says, text 8 states, Maya Vamana Rupinah. So this Maya doesn't refer to external energy, it refers to internal energy. His Grace Gaurang Darshan Prabhuji says, every time the Sanskrit word need not necessarily mean the same, have the same meaning. According to the context, the meaning changes. So that only our acharyas can know. And they will tell us what is the actual meaning according to context. So Krishna appears out of his own sweet will through his internal Leela potency. That is why the word Maya is used. And Urukrama will be the son of Aditi. In the 8th canto, we will see about Lord Vamanadev. It's 7:35. I'll stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. हरे कृष्ण. जगत
Thank,
गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हरे
thank you
कृष्ण.
very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare
हरे
Krishna.
कृष्ण.